The brutal murder of Thomas Becket in 1170 shocked Europe. While Henry II protested his innocence, a tide of anger and grief followed, culminating in the emergence of a cult around the Archbishop. The cult centred on the belief that Becket's blood could cure a range of ailments. It started spontaneously at Canterbury, with the first miraculous cure in the city recorded on the 4th of January 1171, and within 6 months, reports of miracles were spreading far and wide. From leprosy to blindness to mental illness and driving out demons, Becket could cure it all. His blood was even said to help in the search for lost items. Such was the demand that Canterbury Cathedral opened its doors to pilgrims during Easter week in 1171, and again on Becket's birthday, the 21st of December the same year. As the popularity of Becket's cult continued to grow, the Church decided to make it official, with the Pope making Becket a saint on the 21st of February 1173. On the 12th of July 1174, Henry II, plagued by rebellions, made a pilgrimage to Becket's tomb to atone for his sins. The king walked to the cathedral through the streets of Canterbury barefoot, allowing the monks to whip him. While Henry would continue to attempt to assert his authority over the Church for the remainder of his reign, the strength of the popular reaction to Becket's murder forced him to approach this task much more carefully. Meanwhile, the monks at Canterbury had moved quickly to protect Becket's tomb with a stone box, pierced by 4 oval portholes through which pilgrims could look at and touch the shrine, and the appointment of guardians who also kept detailed records of the miracles attributed to St. Thomas. Benedict of Peterborough and William of Canterbury took on this role, and between them they recorded 703 miracles over a 10-year period. A method of distributing the blood to pilgrim in phials cast from tin or lead was also devised, and these were sold for a farthing and filled with the water of St. Thomas from a jug. The recipients wore the phials suspended from the neck as a recognisable badge. Becket's shrine remained hugely popular with pilgrims throughout the Middle Ages, providing the monks at Canterbury Cathedral with a considerable and steady stream of income. Pilgrimage was an important aspect of pre-Reformation religion, as illustrated in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales in the late 14th century. Until the emergence of the cult of St. George in the 15th century, Thomas Becket was generally regarded as England's patron saint. Although Becket was revered for some 4 centuries in England, and his tomb, upgraded by Archbishop Stephen Langton in July 1220, for a time rivaled that of St. James of Compostela in Spain as one of the most important pilgrimage destinations in Western Christendom, in both his own lifetime and again after the Reformation, the Archbishop was a controversial figure. According to his contemporary, Gilbert Faulois, Bishop of London, a pious, learned and conservative Benedictine monk, Becket was an unsuitable and untrustworthy leader who brought the English Church to ruin, only to flee in disguise at night. Similarly, Becket's clerk, John of Salisbury, recorded that the Archbishop was a flawed instrument of God, spoilt by his follies in the royal court when Chancellor. While John felt Becket was fighting for a just cause in standing up to Henry, he concluded that ultimately his master failed. Others, though, had more positive things to say. For Herbert of Bosham, Becket was great in all things mighty. Great in the palace, great in the church, great in exile, great in his return, and especially great in his martyrdom. In coming to our own judgments, we must seek to separate the man from the myth, though there is little doubt that whatever his motivations and methods in life, in death, Becket and the story of his martyrdom captured the public's imagination and continues to do so even today.